Hello friends, my name is Dr. Awdhesh Singh and today we are going to discuss a very important topic, that is the 7 rules to live happy in the imperfect world. Friends, as we know that our world is not perfect, we are seeing so many problems in this world. People are corrupt, the governments are corrupt, the politicians are bad, there is injustice in this world, there is extreme poverty and extreme richness in this world, and all these things actually led us to sometime believe that how can somebody be happy in this world. And therefore what happens, that we feel that unless we live in a perfect world, how can we be perfectly happy. So today I am going to tell you how we can learn to live in this imperfect world with joy, happiness, rather than cursing the world and feeling very unhappy about it. So first of all, I am going to tell you a very popular story which was told by Swami Vivekananda and which is referred in his book Karma Yoga. So this story is about a poor man who was extremely poor and he was suffering from the poverty. And so somebody has suggested that in the neighboring village there is a big saint, there is a very famous saint who is having a jinn. And so if you can get that jinn, the jinn is very powerful, and then that jinn can give you anything which you want. So this poor man went to that saint and he served the saint day and night, and after 6 months that saint got very happy with the person, and thereafter what happens that he said, okay, what you want, you have served me so well, what do you want? Then this man said, sir, I want that jinn which you are having. Then the saint smiled and he says, please don't take that jinn, I will advise you not to take that jinn. Then this poor man said, sir, but I have heard that this jinn is very powerful and he can get anything done, so I want that. But he says, then the saint said, no, this jinn is going to create a lot of problem to you, and so it is better that you don't take it. But the man said, no sir, I want that jinn, I am really suffering from poverty and I want that jinn. Then the saint said, okay, then that jinn was given, so some mantras were given, and he said that if you recite this mantra, the jinn will appear. So this man came back home and then he recited that mantra and the jinn appeared. Then the jinn was a huge ghost, and he said, sir, before you ask me to do anything, I have to tell you that I have certain conditions and I would like to tell you about myself. He says, what do you want to tell? He said, I am a very restless jinn, and you have to always give me something, because the moment you don't give me any work, then I am going to kill you. Now this man has so many ideas. He thought what he can give him every work every minute, and so what is the problem? He said, okay, I accept your condition. Then he immediately said, please make a good house for me. And then the jinn was working with a super speed, and then within few minutes he was able to make that house. Then the man was thinking the next thing. He said, okay, make a big colony. Then the jinn started working on this, and then he was building a big colony. And when the work was finishing very fast, then he was getting a little panicky. Then he got an idea. He said, okay, make a beautiful township for me. Then the jinn was totally in action, and then he was started making the township with such a pace that this man got panicky. He saw that this jinn is going to make that colony very fast, and so he was just running out of the idea. So he ran and he just touched the feet of that saint, and he requested that, sir, I am just not getting any idea. I mean, what can I tell? And this jinn is coming and he is going to kill me. Then by the time, the jinn has already completed the work, and he has come over that saint place, and he said, Aka, please tell me what is the next work. Now this man was having no idea, but the saint has got some idea. Then there was a dog which was going on, and then the saint cut the curly tail of the dog. The dog's tail is always curly, and so he cut the curly tail of the dog, and he is given to the jinn, and he said, you make it straight. Then the jinn was make it straight, but as soon as he will leave, the tail will come back to its original position. And so he was trying day and night, days passed, months passed, and ultimately he was not able to make that tail straight. Then he came to the saint and says, forgive me, I am not able to make this tail straight. So the saint said, but you are supposed to do everything. So since you have failed in your commitment, so now what is to be done? Then the jinn says that, okay, whatever I have given you, take that thing, and then please free me from this curse. Then the saint freed him from the curse, and the man, poor man, got everything what he got from the jinn. Then after telling this story, the Vivekananda told the people that the word is like this curly tail of the dog. It can never be straightened. He told that many saints, many great men, many dictators, many kings, and even God has taken birth on this earth, and they tried to straighten the tail of the dog, but ultimately they could not do it. And therefore there is absolutely no way that you can straighten the tail of the dog and make the word very straight, honest, truthful and all that, because this is not in the nature of the word, and therefore you should not waste your time in straightening the curly tail of the dog. So this is a very important point. So the first lesson of happiness is that you should not try to set the word right, because nobody has ever been able to do it and nobody can ever be able to do it. So this is something I find many people bothering about, the corruption and the criminality and that inequality and injustice and all that. Yes, you can try your best, you can spend 100 lifetime on that, but you can never remove that. So don't try to make the word straighten. This is the point number one. Second is, the question arises that if we see something wrong going on, then should we keep quiet? Should we just allow the wrong things to carry on, not doing anything? Is it not bad? Then it is explained by Vivekananda that you should do the right thing for the sake of doing right thing. You have to remember very important thing, my friend, that you should do the right thing not because it is going to be right for the world, but it is going to be right for you. Because a good man is a man who is doing the good things, and the bad man is a man who is doing bad thing in his life. And therefore when you are doing good things in your life, you are making yourself good. Whether it's going to have a positive impact on the world, it's going to transform the world or not, that's not material. What is important is that by doing the good things in your life, you have become a good person. And this is what is the goal of ours. We are born in this world to see the good things, to do the good things, and that we should do for the sake of goodness and for the sake of ourselves, and not for the sake of world. The world will reap the benefit, but that is a secondary thing. The main thing is that we should do the good things because it will make us good. So this is the second lesson. The third very important point is that you have to, if you want to be happy, you have to choose happiness. See, we have many choices in the world. We want to be happy, we want to have a lot of wealth, we want to be very powerful, we want to be very famous. And remember that health may be a source of happiness, success may be a source of happiness, fame may be a source of happiness, but beyond a point these things become a source of unhappiness. Because if you are struggling 10 hours, 12 hours a day to get a lot of wealth, to earn more salary, then what is the meaning? Ultimately you are sacrificing your happiness for the sake of wealth, power and fame. So this is a very bad thing which people do. And so in the process of getting wealth, power and fame, they lose all their happiness. So friend, you have to make a positive choice, and you have to make a choice that I am going to choose happiness, I am going to be happy, and I am not going to be after the wealth, power and fame if it is going to start affecting my happiness. So this is a very important thing, that you have to make a choice of happiness and not the choice of other things in life. Then the fourth point is that you have to see that the world is a huge world where you have 7 billion plus people, 7 billion plus people. But your world is not consisting of that 7 billion people. Your world is small world. If you just look around you, you will find that hardly 1 dozen people affect 95% of your happiness or unhappiness. So we live in a very small world. We have family, our parents, our children, our wife, our husband, and our boss and our subordinate. If you count them, the numbers will not be more than 1 or 2 dozens who are responsible for 95% of your happiness. And therefore, my friend, the most important thing is that we should focus in making this world, our world, a good world. We should try to practice justice, compassion, love and everything good, and we should try to create this small world as a happy and a perfect world. And it is very much possible. See, we have so many things in command in our family, we have so many things in command in our office. We can, as a subordinate, we can do a lot of things for our bosses, As a boss, we can do a lot of things for our subordinates. In our family, as a parents, you are having a very, very important role to play. And I often say that for a child, it does not matter who the Prime Minister of India is or who the Chief Minister of India of that state is. What is most important is what is the behavior of his father and mother for him. So you are the person who is going to affect the happiness of your children, and so you must try to see that you do everything to make this small word a beautiful word. In the same way, when you are a boss in the office, you matter most to your subordinates, and therefore if you are working and making them leading them a happy life, then naturally you are making your word a happy word, and that word is possible because everything in that word is under your influence and under your control, while other outside word is not your control. So let us not bother much about it and try to improve that small word, and that is going to make our life happier and beautiful. Then the next important thing is, the fifth important thing is that we should have a passion in life. Passion is the fuel of your life. It's like a motor vehicle. If the car is a very powerful BMW or any other car and it does not have a fuel, then it can never move. Everything is a waste. And there, in the same way, if a man does not have a passion, if you do not have a passion, you do not have a goal, if you do not have a desire to achieve something greater in your life, then there is no happiness for you. And therefore, it is very, very important for us to understand this very important point, that we have to nurture our passion. You may have a passion for teaching, you may have a passion for reading, you may have a passion for writing, you may have a passion for music, you may have a passion for doing some social service, and there are so many millions of passions are involved by which you can help the people and you can help yourself. And if you can choose to follow your passion, whatever your passion, then your life is going to be full of happiness. Friends, it's important to understand that it does not matter that you have to work 24 hours to follow your passion. If you are working in your job and you do not have much time, then even if you read for half an hour, if reading is your passion, even if you listen music, play games, or whatever you do, even going to the gymnasium, which is your passion, even for half an hour and 1 hour in a day, I can assure you that you will be able to be happy in your life, irrespective of the difficult situations which are prevailing in the office. Then next, and the sixth point is that you should see positivity in the word. Friends, every person, every situation has a positive and a negative impact. I have yet to come across a person in my life who is having only positive things or who is having only negative things in his life. And unfortunately, most of the people focus on the negative side of the life, and therefore they see all negative things all around. And this is what happens. You can see the media also. The media is only talking about the negative things of our life, and they are hardly showing a good things which are happening. So if 1,000 people are following the law and they are not committing any crime, that's not a news. But if one person out of that 1,000 person is committing a crime, that is displayed as if the whole society has become a criminal. In the same way, the bureaucracy, the politicians, everywhere you see that the good people are never shown by the media, while the bad people are always discussed. And therefore, we develop an availability bias and we start thinking that the world is full of very, very bad people, where actually the reality is just the opposite. The fact is that 1% people are committing crime, 99% people are not committing the crimes, and therefore the world is full of good people. But unfortunately, we are unable to see the good people because in every forum, every media, it is only the negative side which is portrayed. So my friend, my advice is that whenever you meet a person, whenever you're working in a job, when you're talking about anything, anybody, try to see the positive side of the person, and you will be able to see a lot of positivity all over. And if you look at the positive side, your outlook will become positive. The word will be a hopeful word and not a hopeless word. You will be able to see a lot of justice all around the world. You will see a lot of good people all around the world. You will be able to see a lot of kind people all around. You will be able to see a lot of honest people all around, and that's going to make your life much, much better. Negative thinking may give you some sort of sadistic satisfaction that other people are very bad, but I can tell you that too much of negativity is going to make you negative, because you will lower your guard and you will perhaps not mind doing the negative things in your life. On the other hand, if you look at the positive side of things of the life, then you will be motivated to do the good things in your life, and that's going to improve your life tremendously. So this is a very important lesson, that you should see the positive side of the life and try to underplay the negative side of the life. It's possible, it's possible. Finally, I must say the seventh very important rule is that you must build a strong relationship. You see, relationships in our life are very, very important, because life is very uncertain. There will be situations when you will have problem in your office, there will be problems in your home, there will be problems, and the relationships should not be built upon one person. Your relationship should have many people for sharing different type of thoughts and different type of feelings. So you have to have good relationship with your parents, your friends, your other relatives, your spouse, with your children, with your boss, and your subordinates, and everybody. You must have multiple good relationships. And if you have multiple good relationships, my friends, then what happens that you will never be disappointed, because even if you are having some problem in a one particular relationship, you have 100 or dozens of people who are going to take care of you, who are going to hold you in their arms when you are falling in the dismay. And therefore, my friends, it's very, very important. But the relationships do not build automatically. You should not take a relationship for granted. Relationships require continuous effort and continuous performance. See, you should always stand for your family, you should always stand for your friends, you should always do service for your parents, you should spend time with your children, you must have always time for your friends. And so, as they say that a friend in need is friend indeed, this holds good for every relationship, that you should always be present in their calling, in their good times, in their bad times. And relationship is built over a period of time. And relationship can also be compared something like a share, something like an investment in the bank, like a fixed deposit. You deposit 100 rupees in a bank, and just that 100 rupees keep on growing, it becomes 200, 1000, like that over a period of time, because it automatically accumulates the interest and the benefits of appreciation. In the same way, the relationships are strengthened the more older they become. If you are strengthening the relationship, if you are investing in the relationship, you will have a stronger relationship going with every single passing day. And therefore, my friend, the seventh suggestion is that you should build a strong relationship. Never take relationship for granted. Never take love for granted. Just because people are loving it, you should not presume that they will continue to love you throughout the life. You must reciprocate their love. You must do something for them, and you must stand for them. So with this, I think if you follow all these 7 rules which I have told you in my lecture, then I am sure that you are going to have a fantastic life, and irrespective of whether this word is good or bad, your word is going to be beautiful, your word is going to be happy, your word is going to be very, very great. So wish you all the best, and I hope you like this lecture. And if you like this lecture, please share your views, share your comments. I'll be very grateful to you. Thank you very much.